Ravi stood at the edge of the jungle, his boots sinking slightly into the soft moss that covered the ground. He adjusted the straps of his backpack, feeling the familiar weight of his tools and sample containers. The air on this planet smelled different from Earth. It had a sweet, almost metallic scent mixed with the freshness of growing plants. The sky glowed with a soft green hue, and in the distance, two suns hovered close together, casting long, shimmering shadows across the trees. He had come here as part of the first human expedition to explore uncharted planets. Scientists had scanned this world for months before sending a team to study its flora, fauna, and minerals. Ravi had volunteered because he loved discovering the unknown. Every new plant, every strange creature, felt like a piece of a puzzle he was eager to solve. Ravi moved carefully through the undergrowth, brushing aside glowing vines that hung like lanterns. The vines pulsed faintly as he touched them, sending a gentle wave of light down their length. Birds, or at least bird-like creatures, sang in unusual harmonies, their wings transparent and glittering in the greenish sunlight. He stopped to take a sample of a plant that had long, thin leaves that sparkled with tiny, delight droplets. He smiled at the beauty of it. He was so focused on the plant that he almost did not hear the rustling behind him. A soft sound, like the shuffle of multiple feet on wet moss, reached his ears. Ravi turned slowly, trying not to make sudden movements. His heart rate increased slightly. As he did not expect anyone or anything to be nearby, from between two enormous twisted trees, a figure emerged. Ravi froze. At first, he thought it was some kind of animal, but the figure walked upright, with a confident, calm gait. As it came closer, Ravi realized it was humanoid, yet not human. The being was about his height, maybe slightly taller. Its skin shimmered like silver in the green light, and it had 4 arms instead of 2. 2 of the arms hung naturally at its sides, while the other 2 moved gracefully in the air, pointing and gesturing as if reading his reactions. Its eyes glowed softly, like lanterns, large and curious. Long hair floated behind it, as if weightless, giving the figure a sense of quiet elegance. Ravi's voice caught in his throat. "Hello," he said finally, unsure whether it would understand him. The alien tilted its head slightly, observing him with interest. Then it spoke, not in words, but in a soft, melodic tone that seemed to reach directly into his mind. He realized he could understand the meaning without hearing actual words. The being said, "You are now mine." Ravi blinked. He felt a mixture of fear and confusion. Was he in danger? Yet the tone of the words was not threatening. It was calm, almost gentle, as if the being was curious rather than hostile. Before he could respond, the alien moved closer. With surprising strength and careful precision, it lifted him into the air, using 2 of its arms. Ravi instinctively flailed, but he quickly realized he could not struggle without risking injury to himself or to the alien. He felt weightless, like he was floating on a cushion of air. The alien held him securely, its 2 free arms moving to examine him from different angles. It was an odd sensation being lifted like this, and yet he felt no pain. Instead, a strange sense of calm began to wash over him, so the being was trying to show him there was no harm intended. "Wait," Ravi said, trying again to speak. "I don't understand." The alien's eyes glowed brighter, and again the message reached him directly in thought. "You belong with me? I will learn from you, and you will learn from me." Ravi's mind raced. He had trained for first contact scenarios, but nothing had prepared him for this. He had expected to encounter strange creatures, maybe intelligent ones, but none like this. A 4-armed alien, able to communicate without words, claiming him in a way that seemed protective rather than aggressive. "Okay," he said finally, trying to sound brave. I will try to understand." The alien seemed satisfied with his answer. It moved forward, gliding through the jungle with astonishing speed and grace. Ravi looked around in awe as the forest changed around him. Giant mushrooms glowed faintly, their tops pulsing like soft lanterns. Trees twisted into shapes that defied earthly logic, their branches curling in spirals and knots, forming natural arches. Strange creatures scuttled across the ground or hovered in the air, curious but cautious. Ravi tried to take notes in his mind, to remember as much as possible. Every detail could be important for science, but the sheer strangeness of the world made it hard to focus. After several minutes of walking, the aliens slowed near a cliff that overlooked a wide, sparkling river. The water shimmered with a faint light from the two suns, and tall crystals rose from the riverbed, refracting the light in rainbow patterns. Ravi had never seen anything like it. The alien gently set him down on solid ground. Its forearms moved in a synchronized pattern, almost like a dance, as it studied him again. Ravi realized that this creature was not just strong, it was precise and careful. There was intelligence in every movement, a level of awareness that made him feel both small and inspired. "You want to learn about me?" he asked, finally speaking aloud. The alien tilted its head. "Yes, and I want you to learn about us." Ravi nodded slowly. "I think we can do that." For the next hour, they sat near the river, observing the glowing waters and the floating plants. The alien did not speak in words again, but its gestures and the thoughts it shared were clear. It wanted to know everything about him: why humans explored, what they valued, what made them curious. Ravi found himself explaining Earth, his family, the places he had been, the things he loved. In return, the alien showed him glimpses of its world. He saw images in his mind of its community, a group of four-armed beings living together in harmony with the strange forest. They built structures that seemed to grow from the ground, not built, but cultivated, like giant living trees shaped into shelters and pathways. Ravi could see the elegance of their society and the care they gave to each other. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the landscape, Ravi felt a strange sense of calm. What had started as a frightening encounter now felt like an opportunity. He was in the presence of a being far beyond human understanding, yet willing to share knowledge and learn in return. "You are not dangerous," Ravi said quietly. The alien's eyes glowed softly, as if acknowledging the truth of his words. "No, you are safe with me." Ravi realized that in a way, this encounter was more than exploration. It was about connection. Despite the differences in their bodies, languages, and worlds, they were beginning to form a bond. He thought about the words the alien had used: "You belong with me." Now he understood them differently. It was not about possession or control. It was about trust. It's about finding a companion in a world that was completely new and strange. Night began to fall, and the glowing plants around them lit up with soft, ambient colors. The river reflected the lights, creating a dreamlike scene. Ravi had never felt more alive, more aware of the vast possibilities the universe held. He could see the outlines of creatures moving in the shadows, and he knew they were watching, curious but respectful. The alien stood and stretched, for arms reaching in different directions, each moving independently, yet with perfect harmony. Ravi watched, amazed at the grace and power of its body. Then it reached down and offered him a hand, inviting him to follow. Ravi took it cautiously, and together they walked deeper into the jungle. He felt a sense of anticipation mixed with excitement. This was only the beginning of an incredible journey, one that would challenge him, teach him, and change the way he saw himself and the universe. He looked up at the alien, whose silver skin reflected the soft light of the glowing forest. "I don't know what will happen next," he thought, "but I am ready to find out." And with that, Ravi stepped forward, not as a stranger in an alien world, but as a participant in an adventure unlike anything he had ever imagined. Ravi followed the alien girl, whose name he now knew was Tara, deeper into the jungle. Every step he took revealed new wonders. Plants with translucent leaves swayed gently, even without wind, as if breathing. Tiny glowing insects hovered around the foliage, leaving trails of soft light like tiny fireworks. The air was warm, humid, full of the scent of flowers he had never seen before. Tara moved effortlessly, her forearms helping her climb, push aside branches, and balance on uneven ground. Ravi struggled to keep up, his boots slipping on the moss-covered rocks. He stumbled once and nearly fell, but two of Tara's arms caught him before he could hit the ground. She smiled, showing teeth that sparkled faintly under the green light, and released him only when she was sure he was steady. "You are strong," Tara said, and for the first time spoke words aloud in a language he could understand. Her voice was soft and melodic, like the hum of a small river. Ravi nodded, still catching his breath. "You are amazing," he said. He realized he had never seen a creature move with such balance and coordination. For arms each moving independently, yet in perfect harmony, made Tara seem almost like she was dancing while walking. They reached a clearing where a large tree rose in the center. Its trunk was wide, and its branches stretched high, twisting in spirals. Glowing vines wrapped around it, and its leaves sparkled like tiny stars. From the ground, roots extended in curved patterns, creating natural bridges over shallow pools of water. "This is where we live," Tara said, her voice full of pride. She pointed to small structures built among the branches and roots. They looked like a mixture of nature and architecture. The walls were made of living plants, shaped and strengthened into rooms and corridors. Bridges connected different levels, and lights glowed softly throughout. Ravi stepped closer to inspect the structures. He could see that the buildings were alive in a way. The walls pulsed slightly, almost like breathing. The air smelled fresher here, sweeter, as though the plants themselves were purifying it. Tiny creatures with wings like glass floated lazily around the tree, landing on branches or walls without disturbing the environment. Tara noticed his fascination. "We grow our homes," she explained. "We do not destroy. We guide the plants to form shapes we need. We live with the forest, not against it." Ravi nodded, impressed. On Earth, humans often altered or destroyed nature to build homes. Here, the alien people had learned to work with it. He realized how much humans could learn from beings like Tara as they walked along one of the curved bridges. Tara gestured with her extra arms, showing Ravi how the community worked. Some aliens were tending the glowing plants, weaving them into walls. Others were gathering food from the surrounding jungle. All moved with purpose, yet there was no rush, no chaos. Each had a role, and each respected the balance of the world around them. "Do you all live together?" Ravi asked. "Yes," Tara said. "Our strength is in unity. Each one helps the others. We are careful to share knowledge and protect each other. Life is precious. No one is left alone." Ravi felt a warm feeling inside. Even though he had just met this society, he felt its calm, careful rhythm. He remembered Earth and how humans often fought for resources or competed endlessly. He wondered if humans could ever reach such harmony. Tara led him to a small platform near the top of the tree. From here, Ravi could see the entire village and the surrounding jungle. Rivers glowed faintly in the distance, and crystal-like rocks reflected the light of the two suns. The landscape was breathtaking. "This is beautiful," he said quietly. "I have never seen anything like it." Tara tilted her head, watching him. "You are curious," she said. "Curiosity is good. It leads to understanding. You will learn quickly," Ravi smiled. "I hope so." They spent the afternoon exploring the area. Tara showed him how her people harvested food from plants without damaging them, how they built tools from natural materials, and how they communicated using gestures and thought patterns. Ravi was fascinated. Even the way they carried out daily tasks seemed like an art form. Each movement had a purpose. Each action had meaning. At one point, Tara stopped near a small pond. The water was so clear that Ravi could see tiny creatures swimming inside, their bodies glowing faintly. "This pond gives life to many things," she said. "We protect it carefully. Water is precious here." Ravi knelt to touch the water. It was warm and smooth, almost silky against his skin. Tiny ripples spread out in patterns that seemed alive, moving as if responding to his touch. He marveled at the complexity of this world. On Earth, water was common and often taken for granted. Here it was sacred, almost magical. Tara watched him with a soft smile. "You are learning. You notice things that others may miss. That is important." As night began to fall, the glowing plants around the tree lit up, creating soft pathways of light. The village transformed into a luminous wonderland. Ravi had never seen darkness so beautiful. Instead of fear, The night filled him with awe. They sat together on a branch, watching the stars appear. 2 suns had set, leaving the sky dotted with distant lights. Some of the stars seemed closer than he had ever imagined, twinkling in unusual colors. Tara spoke again, her voice gentle. "You may wonder why I lifted you. In our world, claiming someone is not ownership, it is a promise. I promise to protect you. You promise to learn and understand. That is how we bond." Ravi considered her words. At first he had felt fear, thinking he had lost freedom, but now he understood. This was not about control. This was about connection, about trust. "I think I understand," he said. "It is different from anything I have known, but I trust you." Tara smiled, her eyes glowing softly. "Trust is the first step. You will see more tomorrow. There is much to learn." Ravi felt a strange sense of comfort. Even though he was far from Earth, surrounded by beings he had never imagined, he felt at home in a way he had never expected. He realized that exploration was not just about discovering new places, but also about discovering new ways of seeing the universe. As they prepared to rest for the night, Tara guided him to a small living space within the tree. It was simple, yet elegant, with soft, glowing walls and a bed made from woven plants. Ravi lay down, staring at the ceiling where tiny bioluminescent creatures moved like stars. He thought about the day's events, the sudden encounter being lifted, and the walk through the village. Everything had been so strange, yet nothing felt threatening. Instead, he felt curious, alive, and eager to see what would come next. Sleep came slowly, but it was deep and peaceful. Ravi dreamed of floating through forests of glowing trees, walking alongside Tara and her people, learning and sharing knowledge. In his dreams, the bond between them felt natural, like it had always existed. Morning came with soft light filtering through the tree canopy. Ravi awoke to the gentle sounds of the village stirring. Tara was already awake, tending to a small glowing plant. She noticed him waking and smiled, her eyes bright. "Good morning," she said. "Today you will see more. You will understand our world better." Ravi stretched and got up. "I am ready," he said. He felt excitement instead of fear. He realized that he was not just a visitor in this world, but a participant. Every step he took would teach him something new, and every moment would challenge him to grow. Tara extended one of her arms toward him. "Come," she said. "We will explore the river and learn about the creatures that live there." Ravi took her hand, and together they moved through the glowing jungle. Birds with crystal wings sang songs he could barely understand. Small animals peeked from behind plants, curious but unafraid. The river sparkled in the sunlight, and he could see schools of fish-like creatures swimming just below the surface, their bodies shining in patterns of blue and green dot as they reached the riverbank. Tara demonstrated how her people fished without harming the ecosystem. Using long, flexible vines, she guided small fish into holding areas, ensuring they would have enough food while keeping the balance of life intact. Ravi watched carefully, fascinated by the precision and care involved. "You could learn this quickly," Tara said, noticing his interest. "Humans are clever. You observe and adapt well." Ravi smiled. "I hope I can. I want to understand your world, not just see it." His eyes softened. "That is why I brought you here. Not to own, but to share knowledge. We grow stronger when we understand others." Ravi realized that this journey was not only about survival or discovery, it was about trust, friendship, and learning. The alien world was unlike anything on Earth, yet he felt a connection. The bond between him and Tara grew stronger with every moment, grounded in respect and curiosity as the day went on. They explored deeper into the jungle, discovering new plants, creatures, and natural wonders. Ravi felt alive in a way he never had on Earth. Every sight, sound, and smell sparked excitement and wonder by the time the sun began to set. Casting a golden glow over the jungle, Ravi knew that he had entered a story far greater than he had ever imagined. A story of trust, discovery, and friendship that would test his courage, expand his mind, and changed the way he saw the universe forever. Ravi woke early, feeling the soft warmth of the glowing walls around him. Tara had already gone ahead, moving gracefully with her forearms, preparing for the day. She had told him that he would meet others today, members of her community, and he felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Humans were curious by nature, but this world was unlike anything he had ever known. Every step outside his familiar Earth home had felt like entering a dream. And now that dream was about to expand. As he stepped onto the balcony of the treehouse, he could see the community stirring. Four-armed aliens moved with quiet purpose, tending gardens, building structures, or guiding the young ones through careful exercises. The village seemed alive, almost as if the entire tree and its surroundings breathed with the rhythm of life. Ravi could see why Tara had called it home. It was not just a place to live. It was a place where every action had meaning, where every movement contributed to the harmony of the world. Tara extended one of her arms to him. Ravi took it, feeling the gentle grip of her fingers. "Come," she said. "It is time for you to meet them." They walked along a curved bridge that twisted around the massive tree trunk. Ravi noticed how Tara used all four arms to balance, gently lift small objects, and even gesture in ways that conveyed complex ideas. Her people had developed a form of communication that relied on both movement and thought patterns. As they moved, Tara explained, "Each of us uses all arms to communicate fully. We show gestures, feelings, and ideas at the same time. It is faster and clearer than using only two arms." Ravi nodded, fascinated. He realized that humans had always depended on speech, but there were limits to words. Here, the combination of gestures, thought, and expression allowed for more precise understanding. They reached a clearing where a small group of aliens gathered. One of them approached, silver skin glinting in the light, four arms moving with the same elegance as Tara's. The alien tilted its head at Ravi and smiled. Tara spoke softly in her language, and the being responded with a series of movements and thoughts that Ravi could now partially understand. "This is Mira," Tara said. "She will help you learn our ways." Mira's arms moved gracefully, pointing to objects and demonstrating tasks. Ravi watched carefully. The aliens were preparing a meal, but it was unlike anything he had seen. They were collecting glowing fruits, mixing them with leaves that emitted soft light, and using their extra arms to stir, press, and shape the food without harming the plants. "You can help," Mira said through thought patterns, which Ravi now began to understand better. "We will teach you, and you will share your ways with us." Ravi smiled. "I would like that." He began to imitate Mira's movements, trying to use his two arms to replicate what she did with four. At first it was clumsy, and the aliens watched with amusement. Tara encouraged him patiently, demonstrating how to use leverage, timing, and careful observation to achieve the same results. Ravi realized that while humans had strength and creativity, there were unique ways to approach tasks in this alien world. By midday, Ravi was able to help gather fruits and prepare simple dishes. Mira nodded approvingly. "You learn quickly," she said. "That is good." After the meal, Tara took Ravi to the edge of the village where young aliens practiced climbing and balancing exercises. Their arms moved independently, each performing different tasks. Tara explained that the exercises were not only physical, but also mental, training the mind to coordinate multiple actions at once. Ravi watched with awe. He had trained in martial arts and survival skills on Earth, but he had never seen such complex coordination. The young aliens moved like dancers, their forearms performing precise movements while maintaining balance on narrow branches. "You will try," Tara said. Ravi hesitated. His body was not built like theirs, and he feared failure. Tara smiled. "Do not fear. You are learning. That is enough." With her guidance, Ravi began simple exercises, balancing on a branch while moving his arms in different directions. It was difficult at first, and he stumbled several times. But Tara supported him with her extra arms, gently correcting his posture and showing him timing. Gradually, he began to move more confidently. By the end of the practice, he could perform simple patterns with his arms while keeping his balance. Tara's eyes glowed with pride. You see? Humans are clever. You adapt quickly. Ravi felt a warm sense of accomplishment. He realized that learning from Tara and her people was not just about physical skills. It was about understanding a new way of thinking, a way that combined mind and body in harmony. Later, Tara led him to a small laboratory-like area. Here, aliens were studying plants and creatures, taking notes and conducting experiments without harming anything. Tara handed Ravi a small plant with glowing leaves. "Observe carefully," she said. "Learn its patterns. See what it needs to grow." Ravi knelt, examining the plant. He noted how it responded to light, water, and touch. He realized that the aliens had developed a deep understanding of life through observation and care. Unlike humans, who sometimes rush to dominate or exploit, Tara's people approached knowledge with patience and respect. Hours passed as Ravi worked alongside Mira and other community members. They showed him how to identify useful plants, how to create natural remedies, and how to understand the behavior of the glowing insects. Ravi shared some knowledge from Earth, showing simple techniques for measuring growth and recording observations. The aliens were fascinated, asking questions through gestures and thought patterns. By evening, Ravi had gained a new sense of confidence. He was no longer just a visitor. He was participating, learning, and contributing. Tara stood beside him, watching the sun set as the glowing plants lit up the village with soft colors. "You have done well today," Tara said. "You are learning to see as we see. That is important." Ravi smiled. "Thank you. I feel like I understand more, not just about your world, but about myself too." Tara tilted her head. "Humans have great potential. You are brave, curious, and kind. That is why I brought you here. Not to take you, but to grow together." Ravi realized that the bond they were forming was built on trust and mutual respect. He had feared being claimed at first, but now he understood the meaning. It was not ownership. It was partnership, a promise to protect and learn from each other. As night fell, the village glowed like a living constellation. Ravi and Tara walked along a high bridge, observing the patterns of the glowing rivers and the movements of nocturnal creatures. Tara explained how the community worked together to maintain balance, sharing resources, knowledge, and care. Ravi could see how every action had meaning, every decision considered. "You will see challenges," Tara said. "Not all worlds are as gentle as this, but you will learn. You will grow." Ravi nodded. He felt ready for whatever might come. Today had taught him patience, observation, and the value of harmony. He understood that strength was not just physical, but also mental and emotional. He had seen how a society could thrive when cooperation and respect were valued above power and greed. They returned to the treehouse where Ravi slept, feeling a sense of wonder and accomplishment. He lay down, thinking about the lessons he had learned. Every moment in this world had been a discovery, every interaction a chance to grow. He realized that humans could bring curiosity, creativity, and determination to any world. And that was something to be proud of in his dreams. Ravi imagined floating through the jungle with Tara and the community. He saw himself moving with 4 arms, climbing trees, studying plants, and understanding the rhythms of this alien world. The dreams were vivid and filled with a sense of connection and purpose. When he woke, he knew that learning and trust would continue to shape his journey. Tara had shown him the first steps, but there was much more to explore, understand, and experience. Ravi understood now that this journey was about more than survival or exploration. It was about building bonds across worlds, learning from differences, and finding ways to grow together. Humans were not alone in the universe, and their potential was limitless when paired with curiosity, respect, and courage. He looked at Tara, who was already preparing for the next day's tasks. Her eyes glowed with calm intelligence, and her 4 arms moved with fluid precision. Ravi felt a sense of gratitude and excitement. He had entered this world as a stranger, but now he felt part of it. As the suns rose, casting soft light across the village, Ravi knew that tomorrow would bring new lessons, new challenges, and new opportunities to grow. He was ready to face them, not as a visitor, but as a partner, a learner, and a human capable of contributing to something greater than himself. And with Tara by his side, he felt that he could face anything the universe would offer. The morning air was thick with mist, glowing faintly from the light of the two suns. Ravi followed Tara as she moved with her forearms, scouting the perimeter of the village. The jungle around them was alive with color and sound. Birds with crystal-like wings called to each other from the treetops, and the glowing vines swayed gently, brushing against the trunks of enormous trees. The village, tucked into the largest tree, looked peaceful, almost untouched by danger. Ravi was learning to move like Tara's people. His body was becoming more coordinated, and he could perform simple tasks with careful precision. Today, he noticed how Tara's extra arms allowed her to multitask easily. She lifted tools, scanned the area, and adjusted her path without slowing down. Ravi admired her skill and determination. Suddenly, Tara froze. Her glowing eyes widened slightly as she extended one arm, pointing toward the horizon. Ravi followed her gaze and saw shapes moving through the distant jungle. Shadows unlike any animals he had seen before. They were large, angular, and fast, moving with purpose. Tara's voice was calm but firm. "Ravi, they are coming. Stay close." Ravi's heart raced. "Who are they?" "Unknown," Tara said. "They do not belong here. They may want to take what is ours." The humans had trained for hostile situations, but nothing could have prepared Ravi for this. He had studied alien life, but observing a direct threat in a world so unfamiliar was frightening. Yet Tara's calm presence gave him strength. She moved with deliberate speed, guiding him back to the village. Back at the village, Tara quickly alerted the community. Aliens with forearms moved swiftly, securing bridges, preparing defensive tools, and organizing patrols. Ravi noticed how coordinated their society was. Everyone had a role, and there was no panic. It was as if the entire village moved as one living organism. Responding to the threat with intelligence and care, Tara placed a hand on Ravi's shoulder. "We will need your ideas. Humans see differently. You may find solutions we cannot." Ravi nodded. He realized that he was not just a guest anymore. He had a part to play, and his human perspective might be valuable. He scanned the area, thinking quickly. He noticed the river nearby, the glowing plants, and the vines overhead. Perhaps he could use the environment to help defend the village. He shared his thoughts with Tara and Mira, another four-armed alien who had been teaching him the ways of the community. "If we create obstacles along the paths the intruders might use, we can slow them down," Ravi said. "We can use vines, branches, and water." "They might not expect humans to think like this." Tara's eyes glowed with approval. "Good. That is clever." The three of them moved quickly, coordinating the preparations. Ravi directed some of the villagers to use vines to create trip paths and nets. He suggested using reflective crystals from the river to distract and confuse the intruders. The aliens listened carefully, adapting his ideas to their abilities. As the sun climbed higher, the intruders came closer. Ravi could see them clearly now. They were a group of aliens from a different planet with sharp edges and dark metallic skin. Their movements were precise and fast, but unlike Tara's people, they did not move in harmony with the environment. They were clearly there to take something, and they would not stop easily. Tara moved beside Ravi, scanning the intruders. They do not understand life as we do. They only see possession and control. That is why humans and we are strong together. You see possibilities they cannot. Ravi felt a surge of confidence. He realized that humans could contribute something unique. They could think creatively, adapt quickly, and find solutions in unexpected ways. He began coordinating small teams, combining human tactics with the aliens' abilities. The first wave of intruders reached the edge of the village. Ravi and Tara watched from above, hidden among the branches. With a quick gesture, Tara signaled the villagers to activate the traps. Vines stretched across paths, and small nets dropped from branches. Reflective crystals flashed in the sunlight, creating disorienting patterns. The intruders stumbled and hesitated. They had not expected the environment to be used against them. Ravi noticed their confusion and signaled for a second layer of defense. Tara extended her forearms, moving in a synchronized pattern, directing the young aliens to push branches and rocks in strategic directions. The intruders struggled to advance. Ravi moved quickly, setting small distractions, using simple tools and elements from the forest. He poured water onto certain paths to make them slippery, and arranged small glowing plants to shift attention. The combined effect of human strategy and alien skill created a formidable barrier. The intruders regrouped, moving faster and more aggressively. Tara and her people met them directly, using their forearms with astonishing coordination. They lifted, pushed, and guided the intruders, not harming them more than necessary, but stopping their advance. Ravi realized how much training and teamwork went into every action. Each alien acted with precision. Guided by instinct and understanding of the environment, Ravi found himself in the thick of the action, helping to set traps and redirect paths. He was not strong like the aliens, but his mind worked quickly. He observed patterns in the intruders' movements and suggested adjustments. Tara and Mira listened carefully, implementing his ideas immediately. Hours passed, and the intruders were slowly pushed back. Ravi could see exhaustion in their movements. Tara and her people remained calm and steady, using skill instead of brute force. Ravi felt a deep respect for their abilities. They were not just strong, they were wise, patient, and aware of every detail in their surroundings. Finally, the intruders retreated, realizing they could not overcome the combined defense. Tara signaled the village to lower the traps and let the jungle return to its peaceful state. Ravi felt a wave of relief. The village had survived, and the bond between humans and the aliens had proven strong. Tara placed a hand on Ravi's shoulder. "You see now why I brought you here," she said. "Humans think differently. You helped us see new ways. That is valuable. That is strength." Ravi smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "I could not have done it without your guidance. You and your people are incredible." Tara's eyes glowed softly. "We are strong together. Humans, and we share potential. That is why we belong in each other's lives." The village returned to its normal rhythm. Aliens resumed their tasks, tending gardens, preparing food, and teaching the young. Ravi walked alongside Tara, observing how harmony returned quickly. He realized that a society that valued cooperation, trust, and intelligence could overcome challenges more effectively than brute force alone. As night approached, Ravi sat with Tara and Mira near the river. The water reflected the light of the glowing plants and the two suns, creating patterns that seemed almost alive. "Today was intense," Ravi said. "I never thought I could help in ways like this." Tara smiled. "You did more than help. You showed that humans can adapt and grow. That is why you belong here. Not as a guest, but as part of this world." Ravi looked at the river, thinking about Earth, his training, and the lessons he had learned. He realized that humans were capable of more than exploration and survival. They could contribute to the growth and protection of others, even across galaxies. Mira spoke, her forearms moving gracefully. "You are learning quickly. That is rare. Few outsiders could have helped like you did." "I feel like I am part of something greater," he said. "I am learning not just about your world, but about what humans can bring to it." Tara nodded. "Humans are curious, brave, and creative. That is why you and I have formed a bond. Trust, learning, and respect create strength. That is the message you carry." As the stars appeared in the sky, Ravi felt a deep sense of connection. The intruders had been a test, and they had succeeded together. He realized that the universe was full of challenges, but humans had the ability to face them with courage, intelligence, and creativity. He looked at Tara, watched the horizon with calm intensity. "What happens next?" Ravi asked. Tara's eyes glowed softly. "Tomorrow, we will continue to explore. There are more lessons, more challenges. You will grow stronger, and so will our bond. This world will teach you, and you will teach it as well." Ravi smiled, feeling a mixture of excitement and determination. He had faced fear, uncertainty, and danger, but he had also discovered trust, cooperation, and his own potential. He realized that being part of Terra's world was not just an adventure. It was a journey of growth, learning, and friendship. As the night deepened, the glowing plants illuminated the village in soft colors. Ravi and Terra returned to their resting place in the treehouse. He lay down, reflecting on the day's events. Every moment had been a lesson, every challenge an opportunity. He thought about Earth, humans, and the vast universe beyond. He understood now that humans could make a difference wherever they went, not through strength alone, but through creativity, courage, and the willingness to learn, and with Terra by his side guiding, teaching, and trusting him. Ravi knew that he could face whatever the universe had in store. Together, humans and four-armed aliens could protect, learn, and grow in ways neither could achieve alone. Ravi closed his eyes, ready for the next day. He knew that the universe was wide, full of challenges and wonders, but he also knew that humans were capable of rising to meet them. The morning light filtered softly through the glowing leaves, painting the village in shades of green and gold. Ravi stretched, feeling the familiar warmth of the treehouse walls around him. Today was different. There was a sense of calm mixed with anticipation. After the attack by the intruders, the village had returned to peace. But Ravi sensed that something important was about to happen. Terra stood nearby, forearms moving gracefully as she prepared for the day. Two arms carried supplies, while the other two gestured toward the path they would take. Ravi admired her skill. Every movement was deliberate, precise, and elegant. He had watched her for days, and still found himself in awe of how perfectly she could use all four arms at once. "Are you ready?" Terra asked. Her voice was soft but firm, carrying the calm confidence that had guided him through every challenge so far. Ravi nodded. "I am ready." Today, they were going to travel beyond the village for the first time. Terra wanted him to see the wider forest, the flowing rivers, and the strange creatures that lived farther from the safety of the community. It was a chance to learn more, to understand the balance of this world, and to strengthen the trust between them. They walked along elevated bridges, the glowing plants casting soft light beneath their feet. Ravi moved carefully, remembering Terra's lessons on balance and observation. His confidence had grown since the intruder attack. He could now move with some grace, even if his two arms could not match her for. As they traveled deeper into the jungle, Terra pointed out unusual plants, explaining their uses and the ways her people studied them without harming the environment. Ravi listened carefully, taking mental notes. He realized that the knowledge here was far more advanced in terms of harmony with nature than what humans had developed on Earth. Suddenly, Terra stopped. Her eyes glowed brighter, scanning the area. Ravi followed her gaze and saw a group of large creatures approaching. Unlike the previous intruders, these were wild animals, massive, and covered in smooth, iridescent scales. They moved with power, yet there was no aggression in their stance. Terra extended one arm toward Ravi and placed another on his shoulder. "Observe," she said. "Not all threats are the same. Some can be studied, understood, and respected." Ravi watched as Terra moved closer to the creatures. Her four arms allowed her to interact with them safely. Two arms gestured slowly, signaling that they were not a threat, while the other two performed careful movements that seemed to calm the creatures. Ravi felt a surge of admiration. He had never seen such control and harmony with life. The creatures relaxed, responding to Terra's gestures. Ravi realized that this was a lesson in patience, observation, and understanding. Strength alone was not enough. Awareness and empathy were just as important. As they continued, Ravi noticed small changes in the forest. Glowing plants shifted slightly, streams reflected the suns in unusual patterns, and tiny creatures observed them curiously. Terra explained that the forest itself was alive in a way humans did not fully understand. Every movement, every sound, every touch had an effect. Life here was connected, interwoven in a balance that demanded respect. They reached a clearing where a large crystal formation rose from the ground, reflecting light in dazzling colors. Terra moved gracefully to the center, her four arms extending in a pattern that seemed like a dance. Ravi watched, mesmerized, as the crystals responded. Faint vibrations pulsed through the ground, and the air shimmered with energy. "This is a sacred place," Tara explained. "It holds knowledge and strength for our people. Only those who are trusted may enter." "I am grateful to be here," he said. Tara nodded. "You have earned it. Your courage, creativity, and respect have shown that you belong here." Ravi realized that the journey so far had been more than exploration. It had been a test of character, intelligence, and heart. By facing challenges, learning the ways of the aliens, and offering human perspective, he had gained trust and respect as they left the crystal clearing. Tara guided him to a quiet stream. The water glowed softly, and the surface reflected their images perfectly. "Tomorrow, you will face another challenge," Tara said. "It will test not only your skills, but your ability to work with others. Are you ready?" Ravi nodded. "I will do my best." The next day, the challenge arrived. A sudden tremor shook the ground, and large boulders blocked key paths to the village. Small creatures scuttled for cover, and glowing plants swayed violently. Ravi and Tara realized that a landslide from higher mountains was threatening to cut off access to essential water sources. Tara moved with speed, assessing the situation. Ravi noticed her eyes glowing as she calculated angles, weight, and timing. She extended her forearms to manipulate fallen branches, rocks, and vines, creating makeshift barriers and pathways. Ravi followed her instructions, using simple tools from his backpack to reinforce the structures. Together, they worked with the community. Aliens moved in coordination, their forearms multitasking as they carried rocks, guided water flows, and stabilized paths. Ravi directed human-style strategies, suggesting angles, leverage, and timing to make their efforts more effective. Hours passed, and the combined efforts of humans and four-armed aliens created a safe passage for the water and villagers. The community celebrated quietly, grateful for the teamwork. Ravi felt a deep sense of pride. Not only had he contributed, but he had also learned more about the strength of cooperation, creativity, and trust. That evening, Tara lifted Ravi with her forearms again, not in urgency or dominance, but as a gesture of care. She held him securely, letting him see the village from above. The glowing plants, bridges, and flowing water created a vision of beauty and harmony. "You see what we protect," Tara said. "Not just our lives, but our values. You helped us. You belong here." Ravi smiled. "I feel that. I've never felt so connected to another world." Tara's eyes glowed softly. "That is the bond I promised. Trust and respect bring strength. You have learned quickly, and your human perspective has helped more than you realize." Ravi realized that humans, despite their small size and fragile bodies compared to these aliens, had unique strengths. Creativity, curiosity, and quick thinking could change outcomes. Even in worlds so different from Earth, he felt proud that humans could contribute to something greater. Across galaxies, the following days were filled with exploration, learning, and celebration. The community honored Ravi for his courage and insight, and he felt a true sense of belonging. He walked alongside Tara, observing life, sharing stories of Earth, and learning more about the alien culture. One evening, as the sun set and the glowing plants lit the village in a soft glow, Ravi and Tara sat together on a high branch. The river below shimmered, reflecting the light of the village in the sky above. "You have grown," Tara said. "You have shown humans are capable of more than exploration. You show creativity, courage, and heart. That is why you belong here." Ravi smiled, feeling a warmth inside. "I have learned so much from you and your people. I feel stronger, wiser, and more connected. I have never known a place like this." Tara extended her arms gently, lifting him slightly. "This bond is beyond worlds. You are not only human, but part of our journey. Together, we learn, protect, and grow." Ravi felt a mixture of awe and happiness. Being lifted by Tara now felt natural, like a gesture of trust and affection. He realized that belonging was not about ownership or control, but about respect, cooperation, and shared purpose. The night grew deeper, stars appearing in the sky. Ravi and Tara gazed at them, thinking of Earth, their galaxy, and the countless worlds beyond. Ravi understood that humans had potential far beyond what he had imagined. With curiosity, courage, and respect, they could face challenges, build bonds, and make a difference wherever they went. He thought about the intruders, the landslide, and every lesson he had learned. Each challenge had taught him more about himself, about humans, and about the importance of trust and partnership. He realized that even in the vast universe, humans had a place where courage, intelligence, heart could make a real difference. Tara lowered him gently, placing him safely on the branch. "Rest now," she said. "Tomorrow brings new discoveries, but for tonight, know that you are part of this world." Ravi lay down, looking at the glowing village below. The gentle sounds of the forest, the soft lights, and the warmth of trust surrounded him. He thought of Tara, the community, and the bond they had formed. It was stronger than any fear, stronger than any challenge. It was built on respect, learning, and shared purpose, as sleep took him. Ravi dreamed of floating through forests, rivers, and crystal-clear skies. He saw himself working with humans and aliens together, solving challenges, exploring wonders, and learning. The bond he shared with Tara was a bridge between worlds, a symbol of what humans could achieve when courage, intelligence, and heart were combined. When he awoke, the sun cast golden light over the village. Tara was already moving gracefully, ready to face the day. Ravi felt excitement knowing that this was only the beginning. There would be more challenges, more lessons, and more opportunities to grow. He stood, ready to face them, knowing that he belonged here. Not as a visitor, but as part of a world where humans could make a real difference. Where courage, creativity, and heart mattered. Where trust and partnership created strength beyond what any one